Creating genuinely good storytelling content is something that I've been doing for a lot of entrepreneurs, being 20, 30, 50, or 100K a month. And in this video, I'm gonna show you my 5-part framework that I've been using on them to create very authentic based storytelling content that no one can copy because it's authentic to you. So no gatekeeping, let's get straight into this. So this is the exact structure that I use to transform raw life experiences into compelling story content. And so in step one, basically in the first session I had with all the entrepreneurs and all the business owners I work with, is that I collect a lot of their pivotal moments. So it's like, I go through their life, I brainstorm every significant moment that shaped who they were today. These are your raw materials for infinite content. So the type of moments that you want to collect that I usually brainstorm is like breakups and relationship endings, health crises or deterioration, epiphany moments when you realize something in your niche, right? I realized a lot of people were just creating these lifestyle edits, and lifestyle edits don't really do shit when it comes to building your personal brand. Having these realizations in your industry, this is my industry, in your industry might be something different. For e-commerce, people might be just drop shipping, AliExpress, right? But the new way is like branded drop shipping, actually building a culture, building a real brand. So you actually have to identify what are the shifts that you realize that put you ahead in your industry and create content about that. Major lifestyle shifts, moving to another country, wealth changes when you hit your first K or you lost a lot of money, first client, big deal, first success, public failures or embarrassment. It's okay to be vulnerable and to talk about your weaknesses and to talk about the things you struggle with, but you have to be very strategic with your vulnerability. You have to say, okay, I struggle with this, but then I realized this. So when you just say like, okay, this bad thing has happened to me, I lost a client, you don't say I lost a client and you just keep like that. You say I lost a client, but I realized X, right? When people say just be vulnerable, just be authentic, what they mean is have the vulnerability and tie it to a lesson that puts you higher than the thing that broke you down. That's what most people don't realize when they tell you just be yourself, just be vulnerable. It's like you will ruin your personal brand if you don't do it the right way. Okay, so like family conflicts, cultural tensions, I had family conflicts as well. So talk about family conflicts, that's a good one. Career pivots, geographic moves, near-death experience, financial rock bottoms, right? So the critical insight you have to realize is that your experiences are inherently interesting. The problem is you're saying them in boring ways. The same experience can be completely skippable or utterly captivating based on how you frame it. And so this leads to step two. So once you collect your experiences, right now what I want you to do is just brainstorm all the big moments that has happened into your life. Breakups, heartbreaks, things you went through, your first 100K, 50K, 10K a month, your first dollar online, whatever it is. You want to find and collect all the moments, traumatic, wins, successes, any moments that were very pivotal in your life, and just brainstorm them right now. So once you have these things, so step two is to turn these experiences into hook statements. What I mean by that is you need to take each pivotal moment and compress it to a sentence that hooks people in and that creates curiosity. So I'll tell you an example. A boring version could say like, okay, a girl broke up with me. That's one boring version. The hook version, this is one of my clients, right? With Rayson, one of my clients. So this was an example with me working with Rayson, one of my clients. Back when he was 15, 14, when I was younger, this girl broke up with him, and that's sort of why he started making money online and started e-commerce and basically started making money. So instead of saying a girl broke up with me, we said this girl broke up with me and it made me $1 million at 19. Now this is like, whoa, this is like way more hooky. Another example is like, I got scammed in crypto. This was Mitch, right? Instead of saying I just got scammed by crypto, we want to say I lost $95,000 to a crypto scam and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Another example, I started an agency. I disappointed my Asian parents to make 10K a month. So you can turn your pivotal moments and give the specifics and turn it to a curiosity statement. So the story hook formula goes like this. You have the event, unexpected event, or the thing that happened that was crazy. You have the outcome that's attached to it. So, okay, this happened to me and this happened, and give the specific details. At the age of 24, I had my first heartbreak, or I made my first $10,000 at 19, or I built an aesthetic body in 12 months. Have the event, have like some sort of the outcome that explains that event, and tie a specific detail to it about it. Your age, which country you were at yesterday, 2 days ago, 3 months ago, any sort of age or thing that can sort of make it real. Is it possible to do X, Y, Z? Any sort of questions? What you translated your experience to a hook statement. The next thing is to identify the lesson of realization, because right now you have the experience, you have this hook statement. Let's say we use this one. This girl broke up with me and it made me $1 million at 19. So we have the statement. Now we basically need to find the lesson. So every story needs a destination. What did you learn? What changed in your perspective? This is your payoff. So example lessons from common experiences. For example, the heartbreak story. Heartbreak is the best thing that can happen to every man. So embrace it. And the reason why is because when you go through pain, it really pushes you. It is one of the best phases to be in life. So if you go through heartbreak, embrace it. Don't push it away. That's one lesson. First client story. When I signed my first client, like I was outreaching, I was making content, and then I signed my first client. It was crazy and I was having this success. I told my mom this and that. So it's like the lesson/realization is that you're one outreach away from success, and never give up. Another example, crypto scam story. Losing everything taught me risk management and resilience. So it's like Mitch lost everything, and he's grateful that he lost everything because it taught him to be more cautious. It taught him to analyze the risk, and it built resilience and it built character. So disappointing my parents. So it's like the lesson/realization is that internal fulfillment is more important than external validation. I chose myself over choosing what other people thought about me. That's the lesson and realization. So once you have the lesson and realization, now you have the hook, and then you have the realization. Now you need to fill in the gap with like the story, the context. So this is step 4, fill in the context. Now you connect the hook to the realization. This is step 4. And you do this through using the but this happened structure. I'll use my example, my video. If you watch my video right now, I'll put it up.
I spent my entire gap year chasing 10K a month only to piss off my Asian parents and fail.
So you decided you're not going to do uni, right?
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. I don't bloody care.
All right.
I spent my entire gap year chasing.
I spent my entire gap year chasing 10K a month only to disappoint my Asian parents, right? That's a hook, that's a statement.
10K a month only to piss off my Asian parents and fail.
So you decided you're not
Give the context of where things happen.
going to do uni, right?
Yeah.
Do whatever.
I'm just very, very disappointed.
Okay? I'm very, very disappointed.
If you don't know me,
Giving the context of who I am. If you don't know me, my name is Darius.
my name is Darius, and after graduating high school, I left with no friends and nobody giving a fuck about me.
And nobody giving a fuck about it.
And that pissed me off. So I
And that pissed me off. And then I used a but this.
started an online business to make you money. I did drop shipping,
And so I started a business to make fuck you money.
MMA, sales. I failed everything, and after 8 months, I made $0. So I made a deal with my parents that if I didn't make 1K before December, I had to go to university. I literally stared at a wall for 8 hours thinking, what the should I do? And then I got a download from God to start my own
So I say and then, but then, right? And then, but then.
personal brand again. To make YouTube videos. Oh my God, YouTube videos. I proceeded to drop $800 on a course, and 2 months later, I closed my first 1K client, helping him to not touch his dick. The night that I closed him, I remember running up to my parents' bedroom, and I screamed to them that I made my first 1K online. Peace. But the plot twist was,
See, but the plot twist was I say, but this happened because of this happened because of this happened. You don't have to say but this, but you have to sort of redirect people. So in the video, I say I disappointed my Asian parents. I took a gap year and disappointed my Asian parents trying to make 10K a month. After graduating high school, I left with no friends. Then this happened. Then this happened. But then I took a gap year. Then I failed. I had to go to university. Then I went to Bali. I realized what was possible. Then I dropped out. So you want to use the then word and the but word to sort of continue the story. Fill in the context with then this happened. Then this happened. And then after that, you go to the lesson and realization. Now I'm running a content agency helping people build personal brands. So the key insights like the then word and the but word is like a micro tension point. It keeps viewers engaged because they don't know what's coming next. That's how you maintain the watch time throughout the entire video. You can use then and but, you can just replace those. When you fill in the context, you can just write the dot points of what happens, right? So, okay, this happened, write down this happened, then I dropped out of school, then this happened, then this happened. Once you do that, you wanna basically use a voice memo. So this is fucking source right here. This will automate your whole scripting process. Go on your phone right now, go on the voice memo app and basically click record and just tell your story. So say the hook statement, like, okay, I dropped out of university to make 10K a month. And then after that, once you say that, then fill in the context. Okay, this happened, then this happened, right? Once you do that, you say the lesson and realization, okay, I realized X, Y, Z. And then once you do that, you can upload it to this app called Whisper Transcribe. Go upload it to this transcription. You can get this transcription and upload it to your AI bot. So once you record your voice memo, you can basically upload it to your AI bot. I have a video where I talk more about that. And when you do that, you can basically fully flesh out the script. I basically recorded a transcript of this video on my phone. I put it up here, right? I put this whole transcript of my entire video that I had an idea for. And then I upload it to Claude. Again, if you guys want access to create your own Claude custom AI bot that can save you hundreds of hours when it comes to scripting, go watch my other video on YouTube. So see this video, right? Fast cuts of different creators of each 1 to 2 second clips, text overlays sync with their voiceover. 2 years ago, I was working in 9 to 5. 3 months ago, 7 days ago. You've seen these storytelling videos blowing up everywhere. Creators going from 0 to 100,000 followers just by talking about their life. No dancing, no trends, no edits, no Fortnite edits. Well, I've been making my own and I built a whole system to create this kind of content predictably for me and every single client I work with. So I'm going to be breaking down the exact storytelling framework that creators like Sue, Mino Lee, and a few others are using to build their personal brands without selling their soul to the algorithm. This literally created an Instagram text hook, fully scripting out the Instagram reel for me to rip. So once you've done that, you have your fully fleshed out script for Instagram or YouTube. Also, I'll give you guys an example of how I structure it for all the clients that I've been working with. So for Rayston, a girl broke up with him. That's his statement. But we turned it into heartbreak made me $1 million at 19. I know know some of you guys might not have made $1 million. Maybe you guys made 100,000 in 2 months, or 3 months. So it's like, you can still find a way to turn it around even if you haven't made $1 million at 19. You need to find where the highest stakes moment, where the stakes are really high, and use that as that hook. The relationship ended, he hit rock bottom, he then channeled his pain into business, he made his first sale, then he scaled to 7 figures. That's the general structure. Then I got him to record a voiceover, then we fully fleshed out the script using AI. Then the lesson of realization is like heartbreak is fuel, embrace it, don't run from it. Another example, Mitch. He invested $95,000, his life savings, and it went to $1 million, and then found a rug pulled and they lost everything. So instead of saying I got scammed in crypto, we restructured it in I lost $95,000 to a crypto scam, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. So he had savings, he saw an opportunity, he invested big, he saw gains, then the CEO rug pulled and gambled everything on meme coins. He hit rock bottom, then he turned his last 5,000 into 150K and started building out his Discord community for guys that are like-minded who don't know much about crypto, so they don't end up in the same situation as him. And the lesson of realization is like, okay, cool, he learned to be more cautious when it comes to risk, and he proved that he could rebuild himself from nothing. Another example is myself. Like, I disappointed my Asian parents. I took a gap year and disappointed my Asian parents to make 10K a month. So I was like, okay, I'm setting the context. I had no friends, but I took a gap year, but then I failed in that gap year, but then I went to university, but then I went to Bali. That Bali trip motivated me to drop out. I went all into myself and started a content agency, and now I am where I am right now. And the lesson of realization is like, I would rather disappoint other people than disappoint myself. So that's like the lesson of realization. So this is exactly how to script out all your storytelling videos. The key quotes that I want you to remember is that your experiences and the crazy shit that you've been through are basically hooks. You are interesting, but you need to turn your experiences into statements that capture people's attention. The crazy shit that you go through is interesting. You just need to say it as a statement that commands interest. So you guys can use this to script out all your storytelling content videos from now on. Now, if you guys want me to do this all done for you, I've worked with various entrepreneurs and business owners to build their personal brand, to take their stories and experiences and turn them into captivating content that converts. If you want the ideation, the scripting, the editing, all done for you, go click the first link in the description to book a call with me, and we'll see if it makes sense to work together. With that being said, peace.